Good afternoon, everybody. Wow, full house. I love it. It's great to see everybody here. I'm Bill Maley, Brighton Town Supervisor. Welcome to the Town of Brighton celebration of Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Regardless of what may happen in Washington, D.C., we hold this ceremony every year to reinforce the important role that our diverse communities play in Brighton's success. Brighton is and always will be a community that views its diversity as a strength and therefore chooses to celebrate that diversity. We know that people choose to live in Brighton because of our diversity, and we know that as members of local government, the level of government that is the closest to the people, we have an obligation today and every day to make our diversity a part of our identity as a community. We do so today in honoring Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and we do so every day by standing strong against those who would dismiss the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion in our community and in this nation. I ask you, if you're able physically to do so, to please rise. If you're not, please rise in spirit and join me in a pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated, but you knew that. As we celebrate Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month here in Brighton, it is important, too, that we honor and acknowledge the heritage of the Haudenosaunee, the original keepers of this land. We acknowledge that the town of Brighton is situated on the ancestral and traditional lands of the Onondaga tribe of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, whom we recognize and respect as the traditional custodians of this land throughout the generations. We pay our respect to Onondaga elders, both past and present. The history, the culture, and the traditions of the Onondaga people are truly worthy of our understanding and study, and we praise those who keep those traditions alive. We recognize that the study and understanding of Onondaga history, culture, and traditions is of ongoing importance if we are to truly understand the history, the culture, and the traditions of our community and our nation. We support efforts to ensure that we and future generations continue to respect and recognize the Onondaga in a way that is honest and truthful, so that in the words of Sacagawea, the great Haudenosaunee chief and orator, also known as Red Jacket, we may always work together to brighten the chain of friendship. I acknowledge the presence of some of our elected officials here today. We have town board members Robin Wilt and Christine Corrado. I know Judge Vic Vilque is in Albany, where he was, I know, at an event that the Indian Consul General, as I was just learning, yesterday held in Albany. So that's a good excuse. We'll accept that. We also have Christina Lee from our school board. And we appreciate everyone that can be here. Since Senator Cooney is also in Albany, doing that wrangling that comes this time of year with budget and other negotiations, I'm pleased to introduce Rick Rogers, Senator Cooney's Chief of Staff, for remarks. Rick?
And thank you all. And as Supervisor Maley mentioned, my name is Rick Rogers. I'm Chief of Staff for Senator Jeremy Cooney. Senator Cooney very much wishes he could be here right now, but as the supervisor mentioned, yesterday he had the Consul General in Albany honoring the Indian government for the 75th anniversary of their Constitution. And today is still a session day, so I had to be out for that. But, you know, as the first elected Indian American outside of New York City to the state Senate, this is not an event he would not want to be represented in. So I want to thank Supervisor Maley and the town for both putting this on, but also for including him in his office here as well. To the honorees, I know he wanted to personally, if he could have been here, congratulate you all. I think if he has not done so already, we'll be privately also reaching out to congratulate you all. But thank you for all the work you do as well in the town. And the one thing I'll add on top of that, too, is, you know, while this is AAPI Heritage Month, it's not something that should really just be limited to just a month as well. And in fact, I don't want to get too far ahead, but 2 years ago, Senator Cooney worked with the Asian American elected officials in Albany to create the first of its kind, a $30 million fund for Asian American heritage groups to access across the state to help with what they do. And actually last week or 2 weeks ago, I lose track of time, but when we passed this most recent budget, we have another $30 million in there as well. So keeping sight of that, he wants to keep sight that, you know, while it's great to have a month, and he absolutely loves having a month honoring everyone, we need to do the work year-round, and there's a lot of things we could continue to do. And many of the things done in the town of Brighton, we want to use as a model going across the entire state as well of how we can support DEI initiatives and other initiatives to support our AAPI and other underrepresented communities in many ways. So thank you again for the opportunity to join today, Supervisor. Thanks again to the honorees, and congratulations.
Thank you very much, and that was perfect timing. I'm pleased to welcome Councilmember Chris Werner, who is also with us today. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for being here. I'm really excited by the next part of our program today. Ansh Kumar is an underground artist. But apparently he's a whole lot more than that, which I didn't realize. He also has completed his third year at the University of Buffalo, majoring in biomedical engineering as the proud father of a UB engineering graduate. That's no small feat and no small effort. A self-taught recording artist, producer, composer, and engineer, Ansh started his music career in 2023 with his best friend and a fellow artist. Ansh's first performance took place in Brooklyn, and most recently right here in Rochester. Across various platforms, Ansh has gathered over 15,000 streams with over 9,000 listeners to date. Ansh is always trying to push for excellence and perfection, and Ansh is both honored and excited to be a part of this celebration of Asian history and culture. As I said, I'm really looking forward to this. Ansh Kumar.
Let's go. Hello, hello. You can just click on it. Let's go. Yeah.
808 Sundew.
You guys know this one. Let's go. Culture. It don't make sense.
yeah. At this point, it is traditional. Run on my back, I'm ritual. Automatic, I'ma do it habitual. Straight out of Asia, right from the land of mother. If I had to choose, I'm picking no one. Turn with all of my brothers, eating around with all of my sisters. Don't need nobody, don't need assistance. We can ride back to it right in the instance. Yeah, you scared. White group is something. Don't fear nobody, no nada. When you put your faith in it, diamond water, my nigga like I'm licking it. I don't want burger, no, I don't want bacon. What the fuck? Lucky I blow up, I flip it, I shake it. I hop out the house and I always be staring. And then you whip side to side, I be swearing. Said I'ma go make it and I been praising. Said I'ma make it, said I'ma go stupid. The look on his face, he thought I was so crazy. So I went hopping this beat, I went crazy. Running this shit so hard, it go brace. Culture. Yeah, do it for the culture. Yeah, culture. It don't make sense at this point. I'ma sit back and look. All my looks, got it all from a look, but I'm a king, you look. Keeping it real for real since I was a little, yeah. And I might just keep on rapping and tell I'm dead and pale, 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 dead and pale.
Yeah, culture.
AK,
One time. Yeah. Thank you. I just wanna preface this. I made this song specifically for this event after my final AANHPI paper I had to do on Tuesday. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Happy Culture Month. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ansh. That was great. I really enjoyed hearing that. Look forward to hearing more from you. Best of luck finishing the year and your degree and wherever life takes you from there.
Thank you.
Love it. If you want to see the best of the diversity in Brighton, visit our schools, where you will see the beautiful mosaic that is Brighton everywhere you look. Today, I'm pleased to introduce Tara Lama from the Brighton High School South Asian Student Society, where she will be speaking on the significance of Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month from her perspective. Tara.
We don't know where we're going if we don't know where we've been. Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month gives us the opportunity to do just that, to critically examine the ways we have been marginalized and celebrate the ways we have overcome. Not only overcome, but actively and persistently contributed to this nation. As a group, so much of our strength lies in our rich diversity. Over 20 nationalities, countless languages, and each of the major world religions make up our community. Just like my elders told me as a child, the strongest fabric is the one with the most threads. Our community is one such fabric, strengthened with each of our distinct cultures. Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month recognizes the fabric we've stitched over centuries, a tapestry made up of our rich histories and spinning threads of our emerging future. Growing up, I didn't always feel confident in my identity as a mixed Indian, Irish, Indigenous, Nepali girl. The title alone makes my head spin. But over time, I realized that this complexity was a power, not a weakness. Because being Asian American means you live in a space of nuance. It means honoring your ancestors while pursuing American ideals. It means navigating two worlds for many of us. But what Asian American and Pacific Heritage Month makes me realize is they don't have to be two worlds. The tapestry we've created is an unbroken fabric, merging all the facets of who we are. Because we are Asian and we are Americans. We are both things, always. We are threads sewn together, unbroken. Our nuance is our power, and our tapestry is our testament.
Thank you so much. That perspective is an important one, and it does tie right back into the fact that, as you say, The fabric with the most threads is the strongest. The community with the greatest diversity that can honor and celebrate that is the strongest. And that is the fundamental story of who we are as a community in Brighton. So thank you for making that metaphor so clear to us. Today we're also honoring 3 community members who exemplify the significance of Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. They exemplify what it means and why it's so important that we continue to recognize and celebrate not only this month and this community, but all of the community celebrations that mark the diversity of Brighton, all of the community celebrations that give us reason to celebrate in this community of Brighton. I'm very pleased to have really 3 leaders, each in their own space and in their own successes and accomplishment here today. I'm going to start all 3 friends, but I'm going to start with David Groen. David, come on up. David, I've known for a lot of years, and we were just catching up that it's been too long since we've gotten together. But most recently with Greater Rochester Enterprise, helping to drive economic success in this community. And again, emblematic of that same metaphor, that the diversity of the Greater Rochester community gives us all strength. We build together. 1 + 1 really does make 3 if we work together. So I have this proclamation. Whereas, in 1977, the United States Congress chose the beginning of May to commemorate the history and contributions of Asian American communities in our nation. And what was once a week-long observance has now become a month-long celebration. And whereas Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month highlights the diversity of cultures, breadth of achievement, and remarkable contributions of these communities. And whereas David Groen, Senior Managing Director for the Greater Rochester Enterprise, leads economic development efforts in this community, fosters collaboration to drive business growth, secure new private investments, and advance technology innovation. And whereas David Groen has helped secure new capital investments, aiding in the creation of new jobs and the retention of jobs in the Greater Rochester area, and by that work exemplifies community leadership. Now therefore, be it proclaimed that I, William W. Maley, Brighton Town Supervisor, and on behalf of all of the members of the Brighton Town Council, do hereby proclaim David Groen a Town 2025 Town of Brighton Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander Heritage Month honoree. This proclamation is signed this 15th day of May, 2025. David, thank you for all you do. And the podium is yours. I'd like to say a few words.
I'll try to keep it brief. I'm very proud of my neighbor, Tara. I've known Tara for the last 10 years. I think you captured everything that I have felt, and I feel so fortunate to know you and your family. I grew up as an adopted Korean American. I was adopted at 3 months old. In 1985, came to upstate New York in a town probably 2,000 people large called Durhamville, New York. It's a rural community. We were kind of a suburb almost of Oneida, which is a smaller city. And just like here at Kodak downsized, our Oneida silverware community downsized. So many of my friends whose parents worked at factories, those jobs were lost. So I once made a website promoting Durhamville as a metropolitan at 14. And Microsoft reached out because I kind of took their look and feel, and they gave me a cease and desist at 14 not to use their look and feel. So I think I had a calling for economic development for a long time. I took a stint in advertising and marketing, and this is a career that I believe at Greater Rochester Enterprise, our mission is to make the most collaborative economy in the world. And that wakes me up every day. And I love what you said about the fabric. I get to be an ambassador for our region and welcome executives and teams to this community. I see my friend Al Cannell. He brings companies from Israel here, and I'm one of their first people who invite them and welcome here to the community. And I take that responsibility and that duty very seriously. And I do so in a way to include them and make sure that they're represented in our leading industries: optics, photonics, imaging, food and beverage products, energy innovation, advanced manufacturing, life sciences, IT and software. So I get to do that every day on behalf of the community as a resident of Brighton, as a representative of the Greater Rochester, New York region, all 9 counties. I love the job because I get to go to places that are much more like Durhamville, New York, where I grew up, but also get to celebrate the rich fabric that we have here in places like Brighton. The last thing I'll say is that as an Asian American, and Tara, I'm just so moved by what you said. I have 2 white parents, and having that dual identity, I've often said 2 things. In my professional life, I'm the beneficiary of many other people's hard work. 25 years just about at GRE, not that I've been there for 5 years, but the 20 years preceding my time there, many people worked really hard to pave the way so that I could be the beneficiary of the mission to make us a collaborative economy and advance business growth. And I think about my Asian identity and how that has helped me here in Rochester, and the people who are both Asian American, white, African American, who have helped me find my identity here. So I always joke that, well, I didn't grow up here. I feel like I became the man I grew up here in Rochester, and Brighton's been a big part of that. And I have a big duty. I live in Verena Drive, and she's no longer in the home, but Yvonne Tolliver and Peter Tolliver were my neighbors across the street, the first Black residents of our community. So just a few generations away from me, we welcomed some of the first people of color to our community. And they've told me the stories, they weren't always welcome. So it's a good reminder of just how far we've come, but how much work we have left to do. And I'm very grateful and fortunate that I get to do that on behalf of GRE every day, and get to be among small business, public health, leaders in our community, and of course my friend Tara, who again, you said everything I wanted to say, I think, but so much better than I could, as you've done for the last 10 years that I've known you. So thank you all for this honor, and I will do my best in the coming years to uphold this honor and represent Korean Americans and Asian Americans in all the work that I do. I really appreciate this honor. Thank you so much.
I'm so pleased, David. Congratulations. But mentioning Peter Tolliver. Peter Tolliver was a brilliant scientist, held patents with Kodak, and was the first Black candidate to run for Brighton Town Supervisor, and was actually the first person I ever voted for a Brighton Town Supervisor when I moved to Brighton. So, and Peter was really someone special, and he wasn't always welcomed, but he also was embraced by people like his neighbors, Pete and Elaine Schwartz, and others in that neighborhood. So thank you for remembering one of the really great Brightonians that I've had the privilege of knowing. Amita Vyas. Amita, please come up. We talk about business, and we celebrate the entrepreneur. I don't have what you have. I don't have that inner special something that makes a successful entrepreneur like Amita Vyas. Go around the corner, not too far, and you'll find one of Amita's locations. But you now have 4 locations here in Monroe County, making Monroe County beautiful. And that's really an important mission. It makes people, when you look good, you feel good, and you have done that for many, many years. So it gives me great pleasure to present this proclamation to you today. Whereas some of this will sound familiar, whereas in 1977, the U.S. Congress chose the beginning of May to commemorate the history and contributions of Asian American communities in our nation. And what was once a week-long observance has become a month-long celebration. And whereas Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month highlights the diversity of cultures, breadth of achievement, and remarkable contributions of these communities. And whereas Amita Vyas, founder and CEO, the boss lady of Amita's Spas, is a distinguished esthetician, I wondered if I would get that one out, and entrepreneur whose business has served the Rochester community now for over 2 decades and operates 4 locations throughout Monroe County. And whereas Amita Vyas has helped to reshape how clients approach both self-care and skin care and serves as an entrepreneurial role model. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, William W. Maley, Brighton Town Supervisor, on behalf of the members of the Brighton Town Council, do hereby proclaim Amita Vyas a 2025 Town of Brighton Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander Heritage Month honoree, and this proclamation is signed this 15th day of May, 2025. It gives me great pleasure to present this to you, Amita. Thank you so much. Let's do a quick photo op here. Would you like to-
Thank you, everyone, for coming here, and thank you, Town of Brighton, Moily, for trusting me. And I have started my business 25 years from my basement. And first time when I started my official business in Brighton, I went to Town of Brighton because there was a small space, and they said, you can't open your business because this is for doctors' offices. So I had to go to Town of Brighton, and thank you everyone for trusting me and you allowing me to run my small business there. And after that, I opened my other location upstairs. We bought this. So I'm very grateful for your continuous support and help, and I'm lucky to have you here. Thank you.
A little over 5 years ago, those of us that didn't know Dr. Michael Mendoza got to know him. Way, way, way too often we got to know you. What you did during the pandemic, the role that you played for all of us in the community, alongside our county executive, Adam Bello, who was literally, 60 days into office when the pandemic really became an obvious threat here in Monroe County. And because of your expertise, because you brought so much experience, medical experience, public health experience to the table, you and the county executive and the rest of the team were able to, as best as anybody possibly could, shepherd all of us in Monroe County through a public health crisis the likes of which the world, certainly this part of the world, hadn't experienced in over 100 years. So, Dr. Michael Mendoza, please join me. It's funny because the last time I saw Dr. Mendoza before the pandemic hit was at Brighton Memorial Library, where you were giving a book sandwiched in presentation. I think it was in February of 2020 on a topic that had absolutely nothing to do with COVID. How quickly the world changes. Whereas in 1977, the U.S. Congress chose the beginning of May to commemorate the history and contributions of Asian American communities in our nation, and what was once a week-long observance became a month-long celebration. Whereas Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month highlights the diversity of cultures, breadth of achievement, and remarkable contributions of these communities. And whereas Dr. Michael Mendoza, Senior Vice President and Chief Operating Officer with Trillium Health, is responsible for implementing Trillium Health's strategic framework, collaborating with leadership to increase access to programs and services, and helping Trillium achieve its goals as a federally qualified health center. Whereas Dr. Michael Mendoza serves as a professor in the Departments of Family Medicine and Public Health Sciences at the University of Rochester School of Medicine and Dentistry, and Dr. Mendoza was a key leader in the public health response to the COVID-19 pandemic for the Monroe County region, and also serves in several civic service roles. Now therefore be it proclaimed that I, William W. Maley, Brighton Town Supervisor, on behalf of the members of the Brighton Town Council, do hereby proclaim Dr. Michael Mendoza, a 2025 Town of Brighton Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month honoree. And this proclamation is signed this 15th day of May, 2025. Thank you. Congratulations. The podium is yours.
Well, first of all, thank you to the town of Brighton and to Supervisor Maley for this very important distinction. I am humbled to be alongside a very esteemed company today, and also among friends here to witness this month and the role that this month has in our longer path toward equity and justice in our community. I think it's an understatement for me to say that we are in very unsettling times. The very fabric of our communities is being questioned. The sanctity of science is under fire. And I think we are left as a community to think about what truly matters to us, to our families, to our loved ones, and to our peers. I remember 5 years ago, among many other things, saying the words, "Facts, not fear." And I think those words ring very true today, because fear is at the root of so much of the discord that we are experiencing here in this community and across our nation. And when I think about how to combat fear, a couple of things come to mind. The first being something that I thought about last night listening to the school board candidate questions and answers. And one of the questions had to do with how we promote STEM in our schools. And I thought to myself, you know, we certainly want to promote science and technology and math and all the things that are so important to an evidence-based society and evidence-based policies that make up our society. But then I'm also reminded that data are not everything. And I've said this to my teams over the years, if data changes minds, then stories are what change the heart. And I think it's during months like these and during times like these when stories matter more now than ever before. Because I think stories are what bring us together. It's what highlights the diversity among the diversity that we enjoy as Asian Americans. And I think it's one of the few things that we can control, the extent to which we tell our story to one another, to those who disagree, to those who are afraid, and to those who don't understand. So I think if there's one thing I could encourage all of you to consider, it's to tell your story. Tell your story to somebody who knows your story, and talk about your differences, because I think it's in those differences that we find beauty in our world. And then don't walk away from those challenging conversations when somebody might be challenging your diversity or misunderstanding your diversity or reacting out of fear because of your diversity. It's in our differences, frankly, that we find our strength. And I think today is a symbol of why that diversity matters so much. And I want to, again, thank Supervisor Maley and the town of Brighton for recognizing the importance of diversity in our world. Thank you.
Next, we have remarks from Brighton's chief. No? Okay. Well, I thought we were going to have remarks from our chief diversity officer, but with that, I'm just going to thank everybody. Thank everybody. We heard some really profound words today. Wisdom is shared, wisdom is spoken, and wisdom helps us to become who we aspire to be. And I think we really heard some important things today, and I'm so appreciative that everybody could be a part of this event. It's really easy to get discouraged these days. Up is down and left is right, and it's an Alice in Wonderland sort of crazy time. But even in the face of what are clearly overt efforts to rescind the recognition of our diversity, we talked about it last night at our town board meeting, an executive order that specifically is designed to erase all of the celebration of who we are as a great nation. Not just one people, e pluribus unum, out of many, one. And Brighton has led, and we will continue to lead. And we do that because we are a diverse community, and we do celebrate that fact. We have no intention of retreating from the wide range of activities that acknowledge and celebrate the diversity of Brighton in a way that is authentic and meaningful. And your presence here today says that none of us in this room are prepared to retreat. None of us in this room are prepared to do anything other than to celebrate who we are in our many facets and features. And that is what makes each one of us special. And together, that's what makes a community like Brighton special. Let this month and let every month be a time of observance, a time of reflection, and especially a time for action. Please join us as we do so together. Thank you very much for being here. Congratulations again to our honorees. Thank you.